So today's RV review is something special. We're standing outside an Airstream Flying Cloud. Now the thing with an Airstream is you need to know nothing about RVs, but when you see one of these going down the road, you instantly know what it is. This is the granddaddy of them all, and it's still the yardstick for this industry. So let's go take a look at what Airstream offers today. So the unit we're looking at today is a 2021 Airstream Flying Cloud 30FB. So it's a 30-foot unit. It's a front queen-size bed, and in the back we have a bunk, double on the bottom and a single above. So this is certainly aimed at the family and or at a couple of very rich grandparents that want to take their grandkids away to Disney World. So the thing with Airstream that we have to talk about is this is a top of the line trailer. And when I say top of the line, really there is nothing above this. And the reason for that is the way that it is built. Every single item on this trailer is premium, it's top of the line, and that starts from the running gear, the chassis, of course the bright aluminum work here, and inside when we get there you'll see that everything from door openers to flooring, it's all top of the line. So something that we don't normally do at the beginning of an RV video is talk to you about price. But you know what? I'm going to throw it up there right now, because everything you see from here on in, you have to keep in mind what this unit is worth. So again, this is a 30-foot unit. It's about 6,500 pounds empty, 8,800 pounds gross vehicle weight, and we're looking at $140,000 Canadian. Okay, so catch your breath. That was $140,000 Canadian, and now we're going to walk around and take a look what you're getting for that money. So the first thing we have to talk about is the cladding of an Airstream. This is all aluminum paneling, it's all riveted, and the fact is this is aircraft quality. It's put together much like aircraft were, and in some cases still are. So this does not corrode, and over time this will hold up. 10-year-old Airstreams very often look like they're brand new. So working our way along, this also applies to every window seal. Again, everything is riveted shut. These outer covers are protective, but they're also used for shading. Now, once you do get one open, like this one here, you have an absolute open window inside. Normally in an RV, these are slides. So even though it's the windows this size, you're only getting half this amount in terms of air inside. Now, couple that with the fact that the Airstream wall is about 2.5 inches thick, and it's insulated to a point that, first of all, this is a 4-season unit. You can easily stay in this in the wintertime, but it also keeps it much cooler in the summertime. I've had more than one Airstream owner tell me that they almost never use their air conditioning, because with this flow and with that insulation and the fact that this repels light and doesn't suck it up, these are very, very cool units. So again, as we go along, the other thing we have to talk about is the iconic look and shape of this. There is no doubt that part of what you're paying for is the name Airstream and this build quality and this look. If you want to equate it to, say, buying a Porsche, sure, you're getting top quality engineering, but you're also buying it because you want a Porsche. If you buy an Airstream, it's also because you want an Airstream. Consequently, every single thing they do, all the coverings, bezels, chromed, stainless steel screws, right down to the last little detail, again, as I said, top of the line. This unit has a completely enclosed underbelly, which again is all about heated tanks. It's good in the wintertime, but it's also aerodynamic. Truthfully, when this thing goes down the road, it is, as they say, very slippery in the air. Because the Airstream doesn't have slide outs, it's very much a traditional trailer in as much as the storage, it's pretty much all inside. Outside, you've only got really 2 small sections, and this is just enough to get sort of your outdoor patio stuff into a spot that you're going to pull out when you get to where you're going. However, inside, and you'll see that in a moment, there is quite a bit of storage. So as we're working up here, I like to point out the details on an Airstream, such as this screen door. I don't care how expensive the trailer is. Normally, these things are just really cheap plastic. You take a look at this. This is welded aluminum, okay? It's bolted together, and it's even got weather stripping on it. This is something that you just don't normally see on, like I said, even more expensive units elsewhere. And there's a reason why it actually says handcrafted. So apart from someone saying, well, that's just marketing jargon, no, these trailers are built in such a way that you could pretty much say they're one-offs. Some people may know that Airstream really came into its own after the Second World War. There was a ton of surplus aluminum sheeting when, of course, the production of heavy bombers suddenly ceased in 1945. So the Airstream company looked at that and they said, well, we can put this to use. And not only did they use it on the trailers, but this is where they came up with this iconic shape. They were looking at aircraft and saying, we want it to be aerodynamic. On the other hand, by using all these nice curved shapes, they didn't really need to use presses because these panels naturally bend. Inside, this also gives you extra space. So we were talking about storage, and when you take a look at, you want to step back there, Steve? At all these cabinets up here, this is exactly the kind of thing where you will get the space that you need. Notice, of course, that these are all slow close. You won't find any particle board in this trailer. Everything is actually a very special Italian type plywood, which has the same consistency of what we're using here, but it weighs 40% less. So again, countertop space, we have the cooktop, we have a convection microwave, and furthermore, it's good to know that this convection microwave is the only option in this trailer. Everything else that you see in here, whether it's electronics or various other TVs, so forth and so on, everything is included in that price, and I'm sure you're saying, well, it better be. However, we're also looking at items that in other places, this is leather as opposed to a vinyl product, okay? We have a very, very serious support leg for this dinette. The dinette itself is large enough, and you can see the amount of light you have in here and the windows. It creates a certain atmosphere, and that's frankly what people want when they're buying an Airstream. Now, to that point, I should also mention here right now that resale value. As I've said, Airstreams, because of the way that they're built, a 10-year-old unit, you're going to have a hard time knowing it's 10 years old. They look new for a long time. There are a lot of 20, 30, 40-year-old units rolling down the road. And after 10 years, 90% of original purchase price, it's a very, very real number as compared to traditional RVs where you might be looking at maybe 35% return on your original purchase price. So one of these deals, you pay a lot up front, you'll get a lot back later. Furthermore, it's going to look good over time. So we're taking a look at storage now. Here is some hanging storage, and you can see again it utilizes the curve of the unit, and see how deep that is. And every place that you can put a cupboard, you've got cupboards. And then of course here we have this bunk room. So double on the bottom, nice single up top, which every kid's gonna fight over because that looks like a fun place to have a nap. There's also a television in this space, as there is a main TV right here over the dinette. There's also one in the front by the queen bed. So you're not losing out, and I also noticed as I walked through that there's lots of places to plug in your USB so you can charge your phone. So let's take a look at the bathroom that's attached to this unit. So hard surface door and very nice size shower, again making use of the fact that you've got that curved space, and proper porcelain toilet. All the amenities are here. Lots of light in here, as well as powered fan. So Airstream, like a lot of people today, knows that people don't want these tiny bathrooms, so that's a reasonable size space for a unit this big. So the front bedroom doesn't have a hard door, it's just a curtain, so hopefully you know your friends and get along with them well. But we do have a cross breeze in here. Again, cubbies on either side. You can walk around each side of the bed. If you lift up this bed, you've also got a considerable amount of storage. So all things considered, you can go down the road for pretty much as long as you like in a unit of this size.
And I like this one, guys. Look, as you get in the door here, there's even a little cubby there for your shoes. So put your shoes on the tray and then you tuck them out of the way. That's smart.
And that's really what Airstream is all about. It's almost impossible for me to point out everything, but as you're going through, you constantly see these little things and you're going, that's smart. Oh, that's a good idea. Wow, I never noticed that. And no matter how much time I spend crawling around here, I keep finding something new. So I can't emphasize enough, very expensive unit. However, you're getting a lot for your money and you get to keep your money because you drive this for 10 years, sell it, recoup almost your original investment. That's not bad. So folks, that's it for this video. I invite you to get out to a dealer, and thanks to Can-Am RV in London, Ontario today for letting us do the walkthrough here. And have a look at an Airstream, even if it's just to see what you're missing if you end up buying something else. So please go below, hit like, hit subscribe, and then come back to Truck King soon to see what we're testing next.